Ladim.
Shalom, Rabbi. Shalom, Rabbi.
Shalom, everybody.
Say shalom. Say hi. I should say hi.
All right, everybody. Let's start our day. Everybody turn on their cameras. All righty. Let's start out with some prayer, Shema, and the Ten Commandments. Mia's going to pray. And Jairus girls are going to do the Shema. And Lev's going to do the Ten Commandments in English.
Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for letting us have another day of life. Thank you for letting us wake up. Thank you that we're able to have an education. Please, Lord, I ask you that you would help us to learn something new today, and that we apply this new lesson that we learned to our life, so we can be an example to others and show your light. And I ask you, Lord, for those that plan to, for whatever's going on right now, for like all that's going on in the congregation, that you may help to solve it out. And in Yeshua's name, Amen. Shema Yisrael, Yehovah Eloheinu, Yehovah Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vayen. Hear Israel, the Lord our God is one God. English. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Do not make any idols in front of my face. Do not use the name of the Lord. Do not use the name of the Lord in vain. Keep the Shabbat holy. Honor your mother and father. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not lie. Do not covet.
Amen.
Say, do not covet.
All righty. All right. Let me just tell you what's going on so that you guys can know. This is going to be our last class today for this week. Everybody listen up. It's going to be our last class for this week, and we're going to hold off until August, the beginning of August. We're going to take the month of July off as we move and get things set up down south there. Okay. So we got to get, I got to get things set up over here and ready for moving. And so we'll begin. I'll get in touch with everybody. The congregation is going to keep going. Okay. But I got to move things here, pack things there, and get things there, and all sorts of crazy, very hard things. And we'll begin back in August. So make sure you tell your parents that's what's going on. All right. So we're going to end with some really good stuff for this time. Let's see here. Marley, read verse 12 through 14.
Noorna, who is the faithful and sensible manager whose master puts him in charge of the household staff to give them their share of food at the proper time. It will go well with that servant.
Marley, what are you reading?
Oh, ring the wrong one. Sorry. Adonai said to Moshe, "Tell the people of Israel, you are to observe my Shabbats, for this is a sign between me and you through all your generations, so that you will know that I am Adonai who sets you apart for me. Therefore you are to keep my Shabbat, because it is set apart for you. Everyone who treats it as ordinary must be put to death. For whoever does any work on it is to be cut off from his people.
All right, thank you, Marley. We'll get to the other part at the bottom. Okay, after we get to the top. All right, we're talking about Shabbat. Okay, it's the most important thing to Jehovah is to keep his Shabbat. Okay, now what does it mean to be cut off? It says, for whoever does any work on it is to be cut off from his people. Let's see, Yeshua's got his hand up. Yeshua.
If anybody does work or fix something or build something in Shabbat, it has to be put to death.
Okay, so work or building something. What about other things, Yeshua?
Other things like if they're like fixing something, you cannot do that.
Okay,
It have to. It has to be erased from the people.
okay, very good. Kevin, what does it mean to be cut off from his people? Kevin.
He's not here. He went to work with my father.
Kevin went to work with Dad? Okay,
Yeah.
who's that over there? Is that Brian and Michael?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, what does it mean to be cut off?
See?
Needs to be kicked out. Kicked
Why
out
do you think? Why do you
from
think the Lord
God's
is
people.
okay? Why do you think the Lord is so strong about? If you're working on Shabbat, we got to kick you out of the community.
Because he likes his Shabbat. Like he doesn't want nobody messing with his Shabbat. Like people like when they just don't care, he just doesn't care about them anymore and just cuts them off.
Okay. All right. Let's see what Adrian thinks.
Yeah, you do not. You basically, if you do that, I believe you desecrate it. You are not to do any work on it. If you do any work on it, I mean, you're simply going against what God said.
Okay, so why do you think the Lord is so like we should get rid of that person, kick him out of the community?
I mean, first of all, it is a day that he specifically rested on. And you know, if he rests on that day and he makes the example, it's probably pretty obvious that you should probably follow and do that. You should probably, as in, you should do it. I mean,
Okay.
he himself did it.
Okay, he rested from all his work. Okay, so you think that everybody should follow it. Okay, Lev is waving her arm. Lev?
Basically, what what being cut off from his people means is basically like death or like going away and never coming back to that community and not having any communication with them. Because why God says this is because he knows that only single person will drag like 1,000,000 people away if he stays there.
How does he drag 1,000,000 people away? Shouldn't people love God more than what that silly person is doing?
the person will start spreading the worships of his own God. That's how he'll drag like 1,000,000 people away. Because once a lie gets to another person, then it affects a whole bunch of other people. But you are accountable for it.
Okay, you're accountable. The lie spreads. Okay. What do you think, Ria? Why do you think the Lord is so strong about, or whoever does any work on it is to be cut off from his people?
Maybe because it says it's his Shabbat, and it it must be kept holy because it's basically like reenacting like how many days he made Adam and Eve, and it's kind of like remembering that God is the one who made man. And it's like also like giving time to God, you know? It's like a day where you can let go of other duties and spend time with God and studying his word.
So should we go run around and play in the park after you spend, let's say, 2 hours at congregation, or you don't come to congregation? Should you? What should your day what should your day be like?
I think it should be like many hours of like studying Torah and like I don't not no work at all because it says in the Bible no work and just studying the Torah, maybe praying to God, you know, speaking with him and stuff like that.
Should you go swimming on Shabbat?
No, because it's kind of in a way like putting the lifeguard to work.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. Victoria's got her hand up.
Why you should like keep the Shabbat is because when you don't, it's like God isn't God, and you're what you're breaking it to, like maybe using your phone or whatever. You're, it's like that. That's your God. Does that make sense? Your idol, actually.
You making yourself an idol, Vicky?
No, like wait, what?
Are you making yourself an idol if you're not keeping the Shabbat?
No, you're making your what you're doing an idol. Like if you go on your phone or like talk to pagan friends. I don't know.
Okay. We lost Vicky. All right. So you're making your friends an idol. You're making other things an idol. What do you think, Allie Mae? Why do you think the Lord is so like harsh? You know, cut them off from your people.
Because this day is important. He wants us to have a day to worship him and not do what we want to do or what we need to do what he wants us to do.
So what about people that like go to congregation like up here? There's some congregations I meet for 2 hours, 3 hours, and people go out and they do whatever they want for the rest of the day. Do you think that that's okay?
No.
What do you think should be done with the whole day? Like where do you know, he says cut them off. So what do you think somebody would be doing? He would cut them off.
Well, they could be doing anything. Like, I mean, they could be just doing what they want to be doing. Like they could be laying around taking a nap, and that you really shouldn't be doing that on the Shabbat because I mean, you have to be worshiping him on Shabbat.
Okay, you got to be worshiping Him on Shabbat. So if you could like what would you do all day? What do you think should be? Here's a better question. What do you think should be done all day? Like what time do you think we should have to start at sunrise, or 11 o'clock is really good because that gives people time to get to service
11 o'clock is a good time because that gives people to be able to get ready and actually be there. Because sometimes it takes longer to get there for others than it does for some.
Okay. So what do you think the day should be like? Because if you're saying cut them off, we got to try to come to a conclusion on how the day should run.
Well, I think that the service should run for some time during the day and not like 2-3 hours. And probably after that, you should have them like reading the Bible and stuff, and then have like another class before the sun goes down.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. All right, Mia's got her hand up.
I want to say about the Shabbat. I mean, yes, I agree. Yes, that we have to study the Word. Like the ideal thing on Shabbat is to study God's Word and to learn more about Him. And yeah, I do agree that like that you say that some churches or some congregations they just have service or something like that for 2 hours and then they go and do whatever they want. I don't think that's okay because if it's like goes to like shopping and stuff like that, then that's not right because it's Shabbat and God says don't break Shabbat because you're making someone else work. But I wanted to say is that I think the Lord also made Shabbat like I guess you'd say the Lord does give us time to do stuff on Shabbat. Like you can go outside, take a little walk with your family. Like I think the Lord made Shabbat also to share time with family, also with the Lord, because the family is the key thing. It's very important to God, and we see that as we all know, every father from every family is out working. Like so we don't get to spend much time, but only like when they come home, and usually they'll go and like have to do other things, but on Shabbat, if with a godly family, when the father takes off from work on Shabbat, yes, we share time with God, but also I think the Lord also made Shabbat to share time with family. So I don't really see anything wrong in taking just a little walk, like a Shabbat walk.
Okay, well that sounds pretty good. Tiffany, what do you think? Should how should Shabbat run? Because it says whoever does any work on it should be cut off. So, what do you think? The whole day of Shabbat should be like, since it's very important to Yehovah.
Well, like when we're at when we're on the congregation, we have the whole schedule. But like when we were at home, due to when they kicked us out of the congregation, basically since I, what my daily job was, I guess you could say, was that I had to do the dishes, and like we recycle, so I had to throw out the recycling. That was my daily like chore. So on Shabbat, I wasn't allowed to do that because I did that for the week, for the other days of the week. And I agree with what Mia said that also you can talk with your family Shabbat as well. So it kind of was like when we were at home, we did the message, and then we ate for lunch, and then we did and then either we went outside like Lila, and then we came back inside for the afternoon studies, and by that time Shabbat was over.
Okay, so do you like that schedule?
Yes, that was basically our schedule when we weren't in the congregation.
Ariel, what do you think? What do you think the whole day of Shabbat should be run like? Because we got to understand why we should cut people off.
Well, it's like like studying the word, but like taking afternoon, like taking out the children, because since mostly children will have so much energy, you need to like waste that energy, or they'll probably be annoying in the afternoon class. We'll probably take them out for a bit. But after that, just mostly studying the word for the whole day.
Okay. Marley, since you're talking and you're unmuted, what do you think the day should be like?
Oops.
What's your day like on Shabbat?
Well, we do a lot of studies. We watch I forgot the word. Sorry, for sermons. We watch sermons of you and others, like old ones and maybe new ones. And we do have a little family time. We do sometimes go outside, maybe just to go on our bike for a little ride. Yeah.
So what what would somebody be doing that you would cut them off? What would be your determination that, that person's doing that, we should cut them off?
Well, if someone swears, I would ask them to please stop, but if it continues and they just ignore me asking, then I would stop seeing them or.
We're talking about Shabbat.
Oh. Well, say someone. I can't find good examples. Maybe bullying? I don't know.
Well, they can bully they can bully 6 days a week, and on Shabbat they can't bully you.
Well, no, bullying in general, but I can't really find good examples.
All right, Mia's waving her hand. And we'll go to Jeanette and Jennifer.
I have an idea for the criteria of getting cut off. Would be that say on Shabbat, like after like a Shabbat message or whatever they do on Shabbat, they're like, okay, that's done. Let's go watch TV, and they start watching like movies and stuff like that aren't really based on the Lord or anything like that. Then that's not right because they're breaking Shabbat. If they start working or they just start doing laundry or cleaning the house on Shabbat, that's not good either because that is breaking it. That's work. Or the person starts cooking. That's not good either. So those things would be that'd be them breaking Shabbat. But I think it'd be fine. Like, say you got kids and say it's a family that has kids and you have to like they're playing and then they're tired. I think it's fine if you put something about God for them to watch. Like Superbook or something like that for them. But anything that's like movies that don't really profess the Lord, then no, those are not good for Shabbat. Or any shows, there you go, that don't really profess God.
Okay. All right, Mia gave us some good things. Watching some shows that deal with the Bible, but pagan shows, no, or non-godly shows, no. Jeanette, what do you think? What do you think Shabbat should be like? And what would cause you to cut somebody off?
Well, like Mia said, shows that are not good, or like your mind has to be clear of everything, of your days of work, and that everything may be only focused on God.
So what do you do for Shabbat up there in New York?
Well, we listen to the class and then After class is over, we eat and we go outside. After that, we come back for the afternoon class. Then technically we're done.
What's his name, Jeanette? Sorry, I was muted.
The baby?
Yeah.
Abner.
Oh, that's Abner. Wow, he's gotten big.
Yeah, he's
Um,
walking.
Jennifer, if you could run the Shabbat, what would you do, Jennifer?
Well, like, I'll do like the same schedule we have already because I'm used to it. Like, we wake up and then we go to Rabbi's class. Then after we eat lunch and maybe we go outside, come back for Rabbi's afternoon class, and that's over.
What do you do outside? You dig holes in the ground? What do you do?
Maybe we just like play, like sit down or like we talk or like play around.
Kevin and Michael go wrestle?
I never, no, I don't think so.
You go ride your bike? Do you climb trees?
Maybe like we like play like tag or something like that.
Okay, so how long do you think that should last? An hour, 2 hours, till everybody's sweaty and grimy and icky?
Maybe like 20 minutes.
Okay, so what would people be doing that you think that we should cut them off? It says work, or what would cause you to cut somebody off from the community?
Like maybe like they talk to their like pagan friends on Shabbat, or like cooking or washing the dishes.
Okay, alrighty. All right, now what it is, everybody, is we're supposed to do our job. You know, you're supposed to be doing certain jobs on Shabbat. Okay, you're not supposed to be doing your regular work job. Okay, it's very important to be found doing your work on Shabbat. So you gotta understand what God wants from you for his Shabbat. See, it says, go to in verse 13. Tell the people of Israel, you ought to observe my Shabbat. So understand, everybody, it's his Shabbat. And since he knows he even knows what you're thinking, if you're not doing what he wants, he's going to know. And in verse 14, therefore, you are to keep my Shabbat. So he doesn't just say it's his Shabbat once, he says it twice. So it's something for you to really think about, especially as you guys get a little bit older. You know, you're going to one day have your own lives, hopefully. And you're going to have to choose. Okay? You're going to have to choose between keeping the Shabbat, not keeping the Shabbat, doing things with pagan friends, or, well, we went to church for 2 hours. We kept the Shabbat, and they're not really keeping the Shabbat. Okay? Shabbat, if it's verse 13 says my Shabbats, and verse 14, my Shabbat. So it's very important to understand what Jehovah wants from you, especially on his Shabbat. Because he says, if you're doing something look at verse 14. Therefore you to keep my Shabbats because it's set apart for you. Anyone who treats it as ordinary must be put to death. Okay? What do Jehovah mean by treating it as ordinary? What do you think? Well, let's start off with Yeshua again. What do you think that means, Yeshua? Treating it as ordinary. We're going to be working on that, so everybody think about that. Yeshua?
Sorry about it. Ask me, Yeshua.
What we do on Shabbat is
No, that wasn't the question. Are you listening?
He was listening. Was Mama asking or you was listening?
No.
Okay, you listen. I'm going to go to Victoria. She's got her hand up. Go ahead, Victoria.
Um, treating it as ordinary, right?
Yeah.
What's it? Okay. What he's saying, like, whoever treats it as like an ordinary day, it's just that you're treating it as if it was like every other day, like Monday, Tuesday, and you're not respecting it because for you it may be just another day. Maybe you don't know, or you think that there's no problem in not doing it. It's a choice.
Okay. All right, we're getting there. Let's see. Michael, what do you think it means to treat the day as ordinary? Anyone who treats Shabbat as ordinary must be put to death. Now, this is pretty strong.
No respect.
What do you mean, no respect? That's a very interesting way of thinking. What do you mean?
They don't care about it.
Well, how do you show that you don't care about it? What does it mean? What does ordinary mean, Michael? You know what ordinary means? Can you explain that to me?
They're doing laundry and cooking.
Okay, that's good, Mike. That's good. All right, let's go over to Adrian. Same question, Adrian.
Sorry. I was eating a bit of peanut butter.
Okay. Riet, same question.
Probably like just thinking. She did hear the question. She's just thinking. Yeah.
What, Riet? You weren't listening?
No, she was. She's just thinking of what things. I think would probably be like going to the store because people sometimes go to the store and they're not
Speak
supposed
into the microphone, please.
I think like definitely like you shouldn't go to the store.
Okay, you shouldn't go to the store. Marley, what does it mean to treat something as ordinary?
Well, that you do something regularly. Say, you've made it a habit, let's say. Like, good habits are if you brush your teeth every morning, you do your bed. That I think is definitely fine on the Shabbat. What else that you could do? Like planning ahead. Say you have food, you're planning if you have enough for the week and planning when you should buy more.
Okay, well, we're getting there. Lev or Mia had her hand up.
It was Lev.
So basically, what treating as ordinary must be, I mean, not must be. It has to be like, I guess like, it's sort of like treating Shabbat as every other day. Like, let's say if you clean your house the other days, and then you kindle a fire on other weekdays. But then on Shabbat, you clean your room and then kindle a fire. That's what's treating as ordinary.
Okay. All right. Well, we're getting there to understand this. Yeshua, what do you think?
It's like, don't cheat like the Christians do, don't cheat. You saying that don't treat the Shabbat the same like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're treating Shabbat like when they work.
Okay. All right. That's a pretty good understanding. What do you think, Allie Mae? Don't treat it as ordinary. What do you think Yehovah means by that?
It means like don't treat it as you would any other day. It means don't treat it as you would like as you want to.
I don't understand.
Like any other day you could do what you want, you can do what you need to do. Like it's an ordinary day. Don't treat the Shabbat as an ordinary day for you. You have to treat it as God wants you to treat it, not ordinary.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you have ordinary clothes and not ordinary clothes?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Like I have clothes for church and for the Shabbat, and I have clothes that I wear on a regular day, on on an everyday basis. So like I have more clothes for a regular day because Shabbat is only once a week. But I have see
Hmm?
I have
You have.
ordinary clothes for every other day besides the Shabbat. But for the Shabbat, there's specific clothes you have to wear.
Okay, so you got clothes that you're only going to wear on Shabbat.
Yeah.
So this one pair of jeans you only wear on Shabbat.
No, not jeans.
Well, I see a lot of.
You have more outfits for Shabbat, but I mean, like, it's not just one outfit. You could have plenty of outfits for Shabbat, but I mean, it's not just jeans. You have like, I guess, dresses and all kinds of stuff that you can wear on Shabbat, like shirts, nice shirts.
Okay, so there's going to be separate type of clothing that you're going to wear on Shabbat.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mia? What do you think it means to this ordinary? And you can't treat Shabbat as ordinary. Do you have ordinary clothes and different clothes like Allie Mae? Allie Mae's got a very special pair of jeans.
As she does a face palm. Yeah, I mean, this is my opinion on it. Like, treating Shabbat as ordinary, yes, we know that it's if you treat it like any other ordinary day of the week, like working on it or something like that. So if you have other days of the week for work, then my opinion is that yes, we should have different clothes for Shabbat. Like, say the T-shirt Love's wearing. That's for ordinary days, like during the week. Like a shirt, a T-shirt, and like some jeans or shorts. That'd be for like the week. like for ordinary work days. But say I'm gonna take for example for like when we wear Shabbat for clothes, I guess you gotta wear something. My opinion is that you have to wear something formal, like a nice dress or a nice suit or a nice skirt, something like that. Something nice for Shabbat. If you come in jeans and a shirt, then you're treating Shabbat's ordinary because you don't care. So I think your attire also has to do with Shabbat or the other days of the week or any special occasion. Because if we were going, because say someone was going to meet say we were going to meet the Queen of England or something like that, would you wear something like jeans? No, you'd wear something very nice and probably something new and very expensive because you want to look your best. So if you're gonna look your best to meet the Queen of England, then shouldn't you look even better, like your best for the King of the world?
Okay. All right. That sounds pretty good, Mia. What do you think, Victoria? What's this treating it as ordinary? What would be? Is there clothes that you have that are ordinary and not special clothes that you wear on Shabbat?
Well, all my dresses, I just use them for like events, like Shabbat or an event. I don't. Just for events for my dresses. I don't use them on a regular basis. But then, like everything else, like my shirts and pants, I'll use them every day.
So when we were in the COVID, the fake COVID, that everybody had to stay home, did you get dressed differently on Shabbat even in your home?
No, but I did like dye my hair and like I dressed appropriately. I just didn't put a dress on.
So you had your jeans on, but you just said your jeans are ordinary.
No, I had leggings. I put them under my dress.
Even when we were not meeting, but we were doing Shabbat on our homes and the message was online. So were you treating Shabbat as ordinary?
I don't remember. Wait,
It's only 2 weeks since we were locked in our homes. Ridiculously.
when I went to Netch's house, I remember Netch. When I went to their house to have the meeting, on Shabbat, I did put a dress on.
But not the other days when you didn't go to their house.
Probably not.
What do you think, Ariel? What were you doing during COVID? Were you just wearing your regular clothes on Shabbat?
No, I wore my dress clothes.
You got dressed on Shabbat?
Yeah.
What about you, Tiffany?
Yes, I wore my dresses.
All right. All right, let's see. Did we get everybody? I don't see Ariel. What Lev's shaking her head.
No, you didn't get everyone. What? Is they? Hi, mommy.
What Lev?
She wants to answer a question.
Go ahead.
We wore our dresses on Shabbat at the COVID stay-at-home Shabbat.
You did.
Yeah, we still dressed appropriately for Shabbat. Like we still put something fancy like as we were going to congregation because like what I want to say, like the understanding that we all should have gotten while the Lord kept us away from each other for a while. Like that number one, in Shabbat, we should have a different way of looking at Shabbat than just no work day or something like that. And we should still we should try to stay formal as to keep Shabbat holy, because if we don't do that, then it means that we don't care that Shabbat's just a day off, a weekend. So like I think the understanding that we all should have gotten is that no matter where you are, you should still try to keep Shabbat as holy as try to keep Shabbat. Always keep Shabbat holy. Even though you may not have something formal on the outside, you could still have something formal on the inside. But if you do have something formal for clothes, wear it. But if you don't have something formal for clothes, all that the thing that matters the most, yes, the formal clothes, yes, but what matters the most is keeping it holy in your mind.
All right. So the thing is here that Jehovah doesn't want his day to be kept as an ordinary day. The rest of the week, when you're doing your regular work, you understand that because he says 6 days you should work. On the 7th day is a holy Shabbat. And that's doing your job. Now let's go to the bottom of the page and let's read Luke 12, verse 42 to 44. All right, Lev has raised her hand real quick.
The Lord replied, "No. Who is the faithful and sensible manager whose master puts him in charge of the household staff to give them their share of food at the proper time? It will go well that with that servant if he is found doing his job when the master comes. Yes, I tell you, he will put him in charge of all he owns."
All right, thank you, Lev. All right, so what Yeshua is telling us here, or Messiah is telling us here, you don't know when the boss is going to come. So we're talking about doing our job and not treating anything as ordinary. Okay, so it was a good test for the COVID. Let's say the Lord showed up at your house during the COVID, Victoria. They saw you in your jeans or your sweatpants on Shabbat. Would you be doing your job? I don't know. I don't think so. For Shabbat, it says, is even in our homes. Okay, so you can't treat his Shabbat as ordinary. Now, what would be, we see in verse 43, it'll go well with that servant if he's found doing his job when the master comes. What do you think that means, Adrian?
Well, you shouldn't be caught off guard. You shouldn't. I mean, you should always do what he commands you to, so that you will always be ready for him. You cannot get caught if you're doing exactly what he's told you to do.
So do you get dressed up differently for Shabbat?
I don't know if we actually do have anything else to wear.
You don't have a button-down shirt?
Button-down shirt? Yeah, we have those.
Like a dress shirt.
A dress shirt, like a formal shirt. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, if you're talking about
something that's
if you're
not a
talking about,
t-shirt.
yeah, we have those. Long, I mean, they're striped though. Like
Oh,
2 buttons, they're striped. I don't know if those would look very formal either. More formal than a t-shirt though.
so what are you wearing on Shabbat? Sweats, t-shirt?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah.
So you're treating his day as ordinary, aren't you?
No. we don't go on electronics unless it's related to anything Bible. If it involves the Bible and we're learning about Bible, then and only then can we go on if it's Shabbat. We have a couple rules.
But
And
dressing,
we're also required to do a study of a sermon video that we find.
but don't you study during the week your schoolwork?
No. I
You don't
mean, mommy and daddy do a lot.
you don't study history or science during the week, right?
No, we do schoolwork during the week, yeah.
So how would Jehovah know that you're not treating his day as ordinary? How would he know that you're doing this job on Shabbat? You're still in jeans and a t-shirt or sweatpants. Probably don't have any shoes on.
Mm.
Wouldn't you be treating his day as ordinary? Because you're not getting dressed differently. You're not coming to congregation. I know you don't drive, but shouldn't you treat it differently on Shabbat?
Yeah, you should treat it differently. I do agree with that. It should be different.
What do you think, Marley?
Well, we do make the Shabbat very consecrated, actually. We watch sermons about an hour, and we kind of extend it, trying to go over it, and we have a notebook for what we learned, and we have to tell Mother what we did. We have to, yeah. And
What about clothing? You wear your t-shirt and sweats or shorts on Shabbat?
well, our mom says it's more of a rest day, but we still keep it holy. We do a lot of Bible. Yeah, we're home. We
Aren't you
still,
home most of the week?
yes, we do go out once in a while around our neighborhood.
Okay. Let's go over to Yeshua. Let's see what he thinks. And then we'll go to Yeshua, then Jeanette. Yeshua, what do you think Yeshua, our Messiah, meant when he said, found doing his job when the master comes? The master comes on Shabbat. You're going to find you dressed differently?
Yes.
You dress differently on Shabbat?
If you follow the commandments, yes, you're dressed differently.
Do you dress differently on Shabbat now?
Yes.
What do you wear on Shabbat?
I wear like a shirt like with long sleeves and has a lot of buttons that go straight down. And I put jeans. I put jeans.
You got jeans on Shabbat?
Yes.
Don't you wear jeans during the week?
No, I only use like shorts.
Oh, so you put jeans on, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Allie Mae, you're going to be maybe one of our last person for this class today. What do you think Yeshua meant when it will go well with that servant who's found doing his job when the master comes? What do you think that would mean? Well, what should you be doing?
Well, you should definitely not be keeping the Shabbat as ordinary. like we've been saying, you should probably be like reading the Bible, and you should definitely have Shabbat clothes on.
A lot of people go. A lot of people go to, like I said earlier, up here, there's a lot of places that go for 2 hours or so, or 3 hours. They go home. Do you think they should change out of those clothes and put on comfy sweatpants or shorts, or if they go home, what do you think they should do?
Keep the clothes on.
Until the Shabbat's over?
Yeah.
What else do you think you should have meant by doing your job? What do you think that means?
I guess that would mean like if he came like to one of our houses and saw us doing the Shabbat. Yes.
All right. All right, everybody. It's a very hard thing for you got to start learning, especially those that are not really, changing the day. You got to really give God what he deserves. You want to be blessed. The Shabbat especially is he said it in the other scripture that we were reading twice, it's his day. It's extraordinarily important to him. Okay? That you change the day in total. And changing your outfit also gives you a different feeling about that day. You're just wearing your jeans and your t-shirts that you normally do. It doesn't make the day special. The clothes help you to make the day special. Now, if you don't have any dress clothes, that's okay. You just got to put on your best of what you got. It makes the day different. And it's very important to understand that. Because God called the very first thing he calls holy in the Bible is the seventh day, the Shabbat. And he expects his people to follow the Shabbat. And that's why I put the picture of the old family up there, and with the challah and the wine and the shofar. Okay? It makes things very different. Now, let me just remind you, everybody, once again, this is going to be our last class until the beginning of August. Okay, so get things set up earlier down at the new place, and we'll start it up. I'll let you know. But for right now, I'm going to take the month of July off so you guys can have a relaxing time. Okay? Because a lot of even homeschoolers stop their homeschooling in July and then they pick it back up in August. All right? Now, let me get everybody on my screen. One second, I got to get you all on my screen here. I am thinking of a number from 1 to 10. Allie Mae had her hand up first.
10.
You got it.
Thank you, Lord, for this day, and thank you for letting me have us have another day of life, and thank you for everything you've given us, and thank you for letting us be able to get up and have this class. In Yeshua's name, Amen.
Amen. All right, I'll see you guys in August, all you class.
Shalom, nom, 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 cha, cha, cha.
Shalom.